hope you can see my screen, right? Okay, I'm gonna start. If anybody want to join right at they can join in the middle, right? Okay, this session is mostly about JavaScript automation. Okay, when I say JavaScript automation, it's automation using the JavaScript language, right? Okay, you can do the automation in testing, right? Basically, we use this automation concept in the testing area, where you can automate the day-to-day manual testing test cases and everything. You can automate them in a code manner, right? And you can run them on periodically whenever you want. Okay, so these days, you can write in any programming language, right? You can write in Java, you can write in Ruby, Python, and JavaScript as well, obviously. Okay, but currently Java is heavy, right? Okay, so that's the reason majority of the companies are moving towards to the JavaScript. The reason why is when the developers are using a JavaScript as a programming language to design a front end, when I say front end, let me show you. Let's say, for example, for this instance, I'm gonna take you to this Tesco, right? Okay. This, whatever you see on the front end, right? Okay, this is we call this one as a front end, right? Okay, and that thing, okay, whatever you see, we call it as a front end, right? But there is a backend as well. Okay, when we say backend, that is a services that are being served for this front end, right? So we call them as backend systems. This is the front end system. Okay, and this front end system is completely, in majority of the companies, 99.99% companies will use definitely JavaScript. That is a primary language for developing a front-end application. Okay, so when the developers are using JavaScript, okay, to write this entire website, okay, they think, okay, why can't we automate using the JavaScript as a primary language? So okay, the companies are started using JavaScript to automate their front end as well. Okay, so that's the reason the automation in JavaScript, right, became a popular these days. Okay, before most of the companies have used Java as a primary language, okay, to automate their backend systems and the front end systems. Okay, but as soon as the JavaScript has evolved, okay, with the tools, right? Okay, so most of the companies started using the JavaScript to automate their practices. Okay, so that you can see a lot of jobs in the JavaScript area. Okay, and I have split this course into this is not a course, this is a program, right? Okay, so this program into 3 parts. Okay, in the part 1, I'm going to cover about the software testing, right? Okay, software testing, all it's about, its types. Okay, we call them as a manual testing techniques, or different various types of the software testing. So you can in practice, okay, you don't use them, right? Honestly, I can tell you that, okay, because mostly it's an interview perspective questions. Okay, whatever the topics you cover under this section is interview questions. Just consider as interview questions. Okay, some in some places you will be asked what is a continuous integration testing, or what is a regression testing or integration testing, right? Okay, black box testing, white box testing, these things, okay, for the interview concepts. So you'll be asked in the interviews only. Okay, but in real time you will be using one particular method called regression testing. Okay, regression testing, you have to do it on a sprint basis, or release basis. It depends on the company's architecture. So this is a mostly a interview topic. Okay, and coming to the next step is about JavaScript. Okay, we are going to cover about the basics of the JavaScript, right? Okay, these are the basics of the JavaScript. Okay, if you are comfortable with the basics of the JavaScript, primitive data types, variables, condition statements, functions, scope, arrays, loops, iterator. Okay, these are the different topics in the basics section. We're going to cover these basics, and then we can move on to the advanced topics, which are objects and classes, right? Okay, once you are comfortable writing a class on your own, okay, then you will be able to write a, I mean, you will be able to start, okay, looking into the code, and you can understand what's going on with the code, because like you know how to write a class, okay. Most of the companies, okay, split their sections into classes anyway, okay. So you can easily understand the classes, what is the interaction between one class to the other class, okay, and then you can move on the objects. This is the part one, and trust me, okay, this is the basics of the JavaScript, right? Okay, if you are comfortable with the basics of the JavaScript, okay, definitely you can move forward, right? So you should have to be very comfortable, okay, with the JavaScript. So most of this program, right, okay, will be practice sessions, right? Okay, mostly you are going to see the coding, okay, how you can code in this manner, right? If you find a problem, right, okay, how you can solve, how many ways that you can think of, and writing in different ways. So this is mostly of learning and the practice sessions. This is the JavaScript, right? Okay, and the part 2 section, right, okay, we are going to see Node.js and npm. All right, okay, Node.js is a library, okay, we are going to use in spin up our own JavaScript engine. Okay, I'll tell you everything right in detail at the part 2 session. And npm, which is a node package manager, we are going to use this package manager to download the dependencies, right? Okay, again, this is practice with the code, so I can cover into the parts 2 session, right? Okay, and we have the different tools in our JavaScript automation. Some of them are, right, WebDriver IO and Nightwatch. Okay, as you see, these WebDriver IO and Nightwatch are used as WebDriver, actually not the WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver, right? Okay, as a protocol manager. Okay, it will be internally using these two tools, internally using the WebDriver IO, Selenium WebDriver protocols. Okay, and Protractor is also one other library. Okay, one other framework we can use in automation. Okay, this Protractor, okay, uses a WC3 protocol, right? I can walk through what is the difference of the protocols and other stuff later. Okay, I don't want to scare you now by explaining a different what is a protocol and other stuff. All right, okay. And the next one is Cypress. Cypress is a automation framework, okay, that has been recently introduced. Okay, it's majority, okay, mainly its purpose is to execute, okay, your tests against the Chrome browser. Okay, internally this Cypress uses, okay, a mechanism to speak with the Chrome driver engine. Okay, so this is one of the tool that is becoming popular now. Okay, and they have a cloud mechanism as well. You can run them on the cloud as well. So, and next one is Mocha and Chai. Mocha is a unit test framework, okay, and Chai you use for accessions and waits, right? Okay, Mocha, you can call Mocha as a test runner as well, right? The reason why is it has a different mechanisms, okay, to help you to start to start your scripts to run, right? Okay, so that's the reason we use Mocha in our day-to-day. Okay, and accessions and waits. Okay, internally, okay, these are the topics where whatever accession library you use, right? Okay, these are the definite ones, okay, you need to use it. Okay, what does it mean, accession? Okay, imagine you are expecting a true value, okay, from a test. Okay, if at the end of the test, okay, if you write assert, or okay, you are expecting to see a true value. Okay, but by any reason, if it sends a false into the last statement of the method, then it will say, okay, you are expecting a true, but you have received false. I'm going to make the test as failure for you. That's a message, okay, it's internally uses in the accessions and waits. Okay, accessions, okay, and waits is nothing but you are expecting to wait for a certain time to be to populate an element or to populate a functionality on the front end. That's why you use waits. Okay, and it depends on the system to system, right? Some systems are more quick responsive. Some systems are not that much responsive. So it depends. Okay. And the part 3 section, we're going to cover about Selenium grid. Okay. What does a grid means? Like, we're gonna cover the concept as well as in practice as well. Okay. And then we are going to cover about the source lab or browser stack. Okay, one of these cloud environment or test environments, right? Okay, internally, source labs is nothing but set of Selenium grids. Okay, you'll be using a cloud environment to trigger your test on a different machine. Okay, with a different browser versions, browser compatibility. Okay, you can say Chrome browser 53 or Chrome browser 63, something like that. Okay, which are version numbers. Okay, similarly, you can run them on the browser stack as well. These two are the cloud test environments. Okay, you don't have to maintain your own test environment, right? And then we're going to cover about the Git. Okay, this is a source code control manager, right? We use a Git, okay, because most of the companies I can say like up to definitely 98 or 99% of the companies has already moved from SVN, okay, which is a old school technique, version control manager, right? Okay, which is being already switched from SVN to Git. Okay, and then we're going to cover about a continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment. Okay, consider these three are as a concept as well, right? Okay, we discuss as a concept and then we see them in real time as well, right? Okay, how we can see them? By using the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins is a continuous integration and continuous deployment tool, right? Okay, so it helps you to run your test, okay, or to deploy your artifacts. Okay, when I say artifact, okay, it's a latest release component, okay, deploys onto a server, which is Jenkins. Okay, and the next one is basics of the shell terminal, right? Okay, most of the times if you go into a company, right, okay, as a developer, you'll get a Mac operating systems. So if you are aware of shell terminal, right, that's good. Okay, if you're not, we can cover some of the day-to-day useful commands. Okay, we use them. Okay, we're going to cover them in here, in shell terminals. Okay, and Agile is a framework Agile has a set of the frameworks. Okay, one is Scrum is also a framework. So we're going to cover about the Agile, what is Agile, and then interview questions, right? Okay, we're going to cover about the interview questions and other stuff, right? This is a entire program I split into 3 sections. Okay, and we're going to cover these ones before jumping on to any anything, right? Let me explain what is a team structure, okay, in current Agile environment, at least here in the UK, or like wherever you go. Okay, you will be having a typical team structure, something like that. Okay, if you are recruited for any position, right, definitely you have to work with a set of people, right? Okay, the set of people, we call them as a team, right? Okay, and you'll be having a team lead, right? Sometimes they'll be called as a scrum master as well, who look after all the blockers and other stuff, right? Okay, I can explain you what is Agile and other stuff in a specific section, but now I just want to walk through about what is a team structure in the current environments, right? Okay, you'll be having a team lead and a set of team members, right? When I say set of members, it might be a developer, it might be a QA member, it might be a automation QA engineer, right? Okay, anyone. As a group, they'll be called as a team members, right? And you'll be having a product owner, right? This product owner is responsible, okay, to get the requirements from a stakeholder, right? Okay, when you consider the company is product-based companies, okay, then you'll be having a stakeholder within the company. Stakeholder is nothing but who is a project manager for that. Okay, but if you look into the service-based companies, okay, they don't have the product owner, right? They'll be having a business analyst, basically. They speak with the different companies and they get the data, okay, and they prepare some of the required uh, mm, uh, information in order to build a software, right? Okay, but in here in the agile environment, you'll be having a product owner, right? Okay, you'll be working with closely with this team, right? Okay, the scrum team, okay, entire this team, okay, being called as a scrum team. The scrum team consists of a product owner, the development team, and a scrum master. Scrum teams are self-organizing and cross-functional. Sorry, scrum teams are self-organizing and cross-functional. When I say self-organizing, what does it mean is, okay, if you have any issues with the development practices, all right, or if you have any blockers, okay, if you are waiting for any decision purposes, right, okay, you as a team, right, okay, organize the meetings or organize one-to-one sessions and resolve the things, right? And cross-functional is nothing but, okay, as I mentioned before, every product has a front end and back end. Okay, this is a front end. You'll be called this, whatever user interface you see, that being called as a front end. Okay, and the back end, whatever the system supplies the data, okay, to this front end is called a back end system, right? Okay, consider everything will be served by a backend system, because, like, imagine if they want to add another tab here, okay, something like that, something you can say vegetables, right? Okay, groceries, and I want to see as a vegetables. Okay, we we are that much, we are not that much we don't have that much luxury, right, to entire redesign this web page and put a vegetables as a hyperlink in here in order to customers to navigate to the vegetables, right? We don't have that much luxury means, like, it's a very costly to maintain that stuff, right, to do the stuff. But if you do a backend mechanism, right, where it supplies all the titles, all the headers, right, what it needs to be, okay, on the front end, they'll pass as a data into the front end, and the front end has a logic, okay, to deliver or to show, okay, all these headers, okay, at the top of the page. That's how it works. Okay, if you are working in a team, right, okay, and the team called as a cross-functional, then you'll be having a front-end team and the back-end team. Okay, so that entire team will be called as a cross-functional team. Okay, but there are some companies still uses the front-end team and the back-end team, two individual aspects. Okay, but companies are moving towards to the cross-functional mechanism. The reason why is, it is very costly, and the time scale, okay, uh, in order to get the data from the back end to the front end. When I say data, it's not data by by the service, it's a data between the communication, right? Okay, so imagine you are expecting some endpoint, right, being ready for the front end. If it's not delivered in time, the front end team unable to work out and build the site. So if you club them, the backend team and the front end team together, you'll get the product so sooner, right? Okay, that's what it means, a cross-functional team. Okay, so majority of the companies in UK, they call it as a cross-functional teams. Right, and the next one is product owner responsibilities is to have a vision of what he or she wishes to build and convey the vision to scrum team. Right, what does it mean is, he's the one who is responsible, right, okay, to visionize the requirement, okay, and translate into a words, right? Okay, imagine, as in our previous example, right, we want to have a new tab called vegetables, right? At this time, the project manager have asked, right, I want a new tab called vegetables. How much time would it take for you, and what things do you need to implement, right? And this product owner is going to visionize the thing, okay, Yeah, right. We currently have these headers as a top headers, right? I want to inject a one more header in the middle, which is between the groceries and F&F clothing, right? So he's going to explain this requirement to the team members, okay, and the team members estimate, okay, how much time it will take, and based on the timelines, this team will deliver the product to the product owner, right? When I say the deliver to the product owner, it's not giving by hand, it's deploying into the this particular servers. So once it has been deployed into the servers, right, then it is being delivered to the customers. Okay, obviously you need to get approval, right, from the product owner, just to make sure if the requirement has met the if the front end has met the requirements or not, right? Okay. And the next one is the development team consists of professionals who do the work of delivering a potentially releasable increment of done product at the end of each sprint. Okay, what does it mean by sprint here? Okay, sprint is a kind of like a 2 weeks work or 3 weeks. Okay, it has to have some goals. In agile framework, you'll be called a sprint is nothing but a 2 weeks goal period or 3 weeks goal period, right? Once you have a product within the time, you'll be delivered to the time, right? So this is a team structure, and if you get a job, right, you'll be one of these member in a team. Okay, so you have to be mentally prepared that you worked in a team and you are going to work with a team, right? Okay, so this is the team structure, how it looks like. Okay, and now I'm going to go into a little bit about testing, right? What is a testing about? Software testing can be defined as the function for checking if the tangible result or output of the product matches with the projected or expected output. Okay, and testing also ensures that the product is free from any bug or defect. Okay, what does it mean is, okay, software testing can be defined as action of checking, right? Okay, imagine the developers has finished, okay, implementing a new tab called vegetables between these two tabs, right? As a QA or automation QA, you are supposed to, okay, verify this functionality. Okay, when I say verify this functionality, you have to have the vegetables as a second tab, okay, in here, and it has to work. Okay, when you click on the vegetables, it has to be navigated you to the relevant page, right? So that is called a verification, right? Okay, and checking the tangible result or output of the product matches with the projected or expected output. Okay, and then you'll be knowing that, is this match behavior or not? Okay, if it is match behavior, then yes, okay, that's good. Okay, you can say that to the product owners or the developers. Okay, yes, it's all working, and whatever the expected result is being met. Okay, and if you find any issues, you call them as a defect or bug. Okay, in the testing area, if you see any functionality which is not met with the actual requirements, then you call them as a bug or defect, right? Okay, so this is how it works. And then next one, okay, next one is automation testing, right? Okay, and this is about automation testing is an automated execution of tests that verify the quality and stability of the code, right? Automation testing is an automated execution of tests and verify the quality and stability of the code. It means that you are going to write an automation test, okay, and you're going to execute those tests, okay, and see if it matches or not. Okay, so what you are going to say is, okay, you are going to write a new script. Okay, when I say script, it's an automation script. Okay, you are going to write an automation script to verify. Okay, there is one more tab called vegetables in between here, right? You can verify them order as well, right? Okay, and that script is going to work, okay, every time. Okay, every time when you run them and verifies, okay, if it matches or not. Okay, and then automation tests are written to test other code, right? Okay, what does it mean here is, okay, you are writing an automation test, okay, to test the actual functionality being written in a code format, right? Okay, I'm going to open a developer tools, okay, by using a shortcut, okay, by using a shortcut here. If I click on the three dots here, right? Okay, if you see here three dots, you'll be having this tab, right? Okay, and there is a one more tab called more tools, right? If you click on the more tools, you'll be having a submenu here, right? And if you click on the developer tools, it will populate a new window here, right? Where you can see the entire structure. You can see the entire structure here. Okay, as you see here, you have the HTML content here. Okay, you can see all the elements here. You will be having a console here as well, right? And then you'll be having a source as well, right? And then you'll be having a network, right? These are the different tabs that is being given, right, by the Chrome browser DevTools, right? So imagine you have performance, memory, application, and other stuff, right? You'll be using these ones, okay, when it needed, right? For now, we don't have to worry about this stuff, right? Okay. Let me quickly go into console and see, right? Currently, there is a one debug message is available here, right? What it says is fail to load rescue, right? Sometimes these dev tools help you to understand what is the error, what are the error messages that is being populated, okay, when you launch this particular web application, right? This data will be helpful in real time, right? Trust me, it helps you a lot. Okay, I can show you quickly. If I press refresh button, right, let me go back in here and see. Yeah, see, there is a one error message, right? But okay, by looking at this error message, what I can understand is, okay, this Testco website, okay, are using ad services, right? Okay, from google.com. So if there is a some problem at the integration level, that's the reason Google is not responding for ad services. That's why you see as a error blocked by client, right? Okay, so this is kind of the error message. But in real time, okay, if you have this kind of errors, right, okay, developers easily can understand the error messages and they can solve the issues, right? Okay, and you'll be having this is a front end and the stuff. If you navigate, okay, you should still be able to see the error messages, right? Click on this one and see again error message. Okay, once you get to use it, right, okay, you'll see. But in this particular JavaScript automation program, right, okay, our main objective is to, okay, automate of testing, okay, this front end, this particular front end. Okay, you can write n number of test cases around this web application, okay, in order to test the piece of functionalities, right? And then your test, okay, obviously will say, okay, whether it is it meets the requirement or not. Okay. And what are the benefits is, okay, to reduce the manual testing efforts, which helps to release a product sooner, right? Imagine as the developers have worked for 2 weeks in order to produce a product, right? Okay, at the same time, testers definitely will take some extra time to verify the stories, okay, the new functionality, as well as they have to verify the existing functionality in order to package everything and deliver to you, right? And the next one is, okay, automation is nothing but to translate the manual verification steps into a code format that can rerun as many times as we want, right? So what does it mean is, okay, you write the test once, okay, whatever the steps that you follow in manually, you're going to automate them and you rerun them n number of times, right? Okay, and the companies wants a return of investment soon. The reason why is, imagine they invest money in order to produce a product, okay, and if they don't deliver the product, right, as soon as possible. Obviously, okay, it is expensive for them, okay, not being able to release. That's reason as soon as the software is ready, okay, they want to push it to the live. Okay, the live is nothing but the real customers environment. Okay, so this automation will help you to verify the functionalities, okay, every time, okay, you release a product, and it helps you to release the product very quicker. Okay, and the execution time, it's less compared to the manual verification. Manual verification is costly, okay, in terms of the time as well as money. Okay, and the next one is, okay, majority of all programming language supports automation by introducing bindings libraries to be able to support automation, right? Okay, nowadays, like you can develop a front end or a backend system by using a number of languages. So each language has their own unit test framework, okay, to build an automation for you, right? And the next one is, how hard is to learn? That is a question you might be asking in your mind, right? The answer is, it's not a thing to learn, it's a practice, right? Okay, if you do the practice, and you'll remember forever. The reason why is, it's like a mathematics. Okay, when you are studying the mathematics, you definitely do the practice, not by watching the textbooks or by watching the guide or anything. Okay, you do the practice and you apply the algorithm formulas, right? Okay, and you solve the problems. Imagine, like we have, okay, I think on top of my head, I still have the one formula at my head, like a plus b whole square, right? You call it as you can quickly tell that a square plus 2ab plus b square. So the reason why is, you remember the formula, you did not remember the values you put into that actual, what is the value of a, what is the value of b. The reason why is, you remember the algorithm, right? So similarly, if you learn the entire, right, okay, these JavaScripts, right, basics and advanced topics, then definitely, okay, you should be able to remember the stuff, right? Guys, sorry, can I have 1 minute, please? Right. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. All right. Yeah, where was I? Yes. Okay, I was here, right? It's not a thing to learn, as I mentioned before, right? Okay, it's a practice. Okay, and the next one is JavaScript. Okay, what tools do you learn, practice JavaScript, right? As a beginner, right, I would suggest you to use your console, right? Okay, what does it mean by console is, right, as we have seen before, right, if you click on the three dots, you'll be having this menu. Okay, and if you go into the more tools, you will be having the developer tools, right? Click on the developer tools. Okay, you'll be seeing a new window open here, right? Sometimes it will be open here, or sometimes, like it attaches to this dock, right? Okay, so if you click on this three dots again, okay, you'll have a different options. Okay, now if you click on this first option, it will be split the window. So this is a console. Okay, as you see, okay, very first time it might open in the element level. Okay, if you go into console, okay, this is a JavaScript console. What I'm saying is, right, Okay, you can write that code here and you can execute. Okay, okay, I just have written like console. What does it mean here is console, right? This object. Okay, and log, what is a method, and I'm passing a parameter, right, saying hello all. Okay, and it displays as a hello all. That's it. Okay, so you have this wonderful JavaScript engine within the browser, and you can use that engine to practice, okay, your JavaScript basics of the JavaScript in here, right? Trust me, this is a very good way to learn the JavaScript, right? And you will also get error messages if you make any mistakes in here, right? And otherwise, you'll be fine with it. Okay, and the same. Okay, before I mentioned that in a part 2 section, I said I'm going to cover about Node.js, right? Node.js is nothing but a JavaScript engine, right? Okay, imagine before how it works is, okay, if you write a JavaScript code, it runs on the browser only. Okay, and you don't know how to exactly evaluate, right, or verify the verify the JavaScript code that you have written, okay, before. And Node.js is being introduced by Google, right? Okay, so you'll be having sorry, yes, okay, Node.js is being introduced by Google. What they have done is they have taken out the engine, right, which is this one, right, which is this one out. Not exactly this terminal. What I mean is engine, right? Okay, headless engine, right? There is no head. Okay, for that headless engine, they have taken out. Okay, and they put it on a different service, and they have started running as the standalone service and test their code against that service. That's how it works, and they call it as a Node.js server. Okay, JS JavaScript. Okay, Node.js JavaScript. Okay, and you can we can walk through all that stuff. But okay, this is the best way to start. Okay, if you are comfortable with this, okay, then we can move on to the definitely we can move on to the different IDEs, right? You can write using WebStorm, or you can write using Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Okay, so you can use any IDEs. And let's go into the history of the JavaScript. Okay, I just want to ask a quick question before going into the history of the JavaScript. Are you guys are comfortable with this? Any questions as of now? Okay.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, okay, fine.
Thank you. Okay, history of the JavaScript, right? There are many names of the JavaScript, okay, in the past. Nowadays we call that as a JavaScript, right? Before it has been introduced as a live script, okay, Mocha, JScript. Okay, just to want to mention clear you guys, okay, this Mocha, this name of the Mocha is not the one which we have discussed in this section, right? Okay, this is Mocha is a framework, okay, unit test framework. You can call it as a unit test runner as well. Okay, but here is part of the history of the JavaScript. Okay, and JScript, ECMAScript. Okay, why these exist? Okay, these are the different names for the JavaScript in the past. Okay, JavaScript invented by Brendan Eich. Okay, in 1995, he has written the entire language within 10 days, right? Okay, and while he is implementing, okay, in an organization, okay, he called that code as development code as Mocha, right? It's a development name only. Okay, under the supervision of the Netscape and some microsystems. Okay, you might remember, okay, the Netscape browser in the ages ago, right? You have had Internet Explorer and Netscape browsers at the in 1990s. Okay, so when the Brendan is working for Netscape, right? Okay, he implemented this JavaScript language, okay, in 10 days okay, and he named it as a Mocha. Okay, and he internally uses self and schema, these two languages, in order to create a wonderful language called JavaScript, right? Okay, so honestly, most of the people doesn't know what are these languages, and okay, and also their existence as well. Okay, and currently JavaScript evolved a lot. Many companies, many people are really using this JavaScript. Okay, and it's easy to learn as well. Okay, Netscape was partnered with the Sun Microsystem that designed the Java language. Okay, in order to at the time, right, in order to increase the usage of the JavaScript. Okay, Netscape has partnered with the Sun Microsystem. Sun Microsystems is the one who created the Java language, right? Okay, and when Netscape company has introduced this JavaScript into a browser, right? Okay, they called it as a live script. Okay, the reason why is some code is running on the fly. On the fly means, okay, while you are navigating through the browser. Okay, and then it was renamed as JavaScript. Okay, at the time, like, they called it as a competitive for the Java language. Okay, and some of the people think that Java and JavaScript are both the same, but really not. Okay, JavaScript is purely runs on the client side, and recently, by with the help of the Node.js, we are able to write, okay, backend systems as well. We can walk through that a bit later. Okay, and Microsoft has seen this and reverse engineering the JavaScript, the entire JavaScript, and they call it as a JScript. They have integrated with the Internet Explorer 3 version 3 in the year 1996. And since then, each browser, okay, vendor, okay, has their own library, JavaScript library, and they were using they were integrating their piece of the functionalities, okay, every time in their browsers. At that time, it was so much complicated. The reason why is Netscape has introduced something on their browser, which is JavaScript, right? Okay, if they introduce something in the JavaScript, okay, it works on, okay, in Netscape only. So the developer has to verify the things, okay, whether it is working in Netscape browser as well as in the IE3 browser. So that's the reason, okay, the testing in the industry, okay, has increased a lot from that ages, right? So in order to maintain the compatibility between these two engines, okay, which is a JavaScript and JScript, right? Okay, it was very complicated, and then, okay, they all merged. Okay, they all become one group, and they call it as an ECMAScript. The reason why is, okay, it's very hard to maintain for the developers as well, individual engines as well as a compatibility between the application, right, from to make it work in one browser and not making it in another browser, these kind of things. So whole point for the web is to write once and run anywhere, right? Okay, imagine if you are writing once, and it's supposed to work in everywhere, but if the browser doesn't support, obviously, okay, you'll be having a lot of troubles in it, right? Okay, you as a developer, you have to verify, okay, is the functionality is working or not. Okay, imagine, I can tell you one example here, right? As soon as if you landed a web page, okay, let's say Tesco.com. If you landed a web page called Tesco.com, you want to see an alert, okay? If you don't see any alert, obviously what happens is, if you don't see any alert, that will be a problem, because as a customer, you are expected to see an alert. Okay, so this is a compatibility between the browsers. So if the browsers itself doesn't support, okay, then that it makes a lot of troubles to the developers. So they all become one group, and then, okay, they went to a European Computer Manufacturer Association, right? Hence the name is called as ECMAScript, European Computer Manufacturer Association script. Okay, so everyone follows this ECMAScript. Now all the browsers has to, okay, uh, follow the principles of the ECMAScript as an ECMA organization. That's it. That's the history of the JavaScript. Now, if you are, as a developer, if you are writing a functionality, okay, in order to make something on the front end, okay, definitely it's going to work on other browsers as well. Okay, we are talking about the browsers only, but not the different languages, right? So, okay, that is a principle of that. Okay, mostly, okay, let me tell you about a bit about I'll come to the syntax of the language in a bit, right? Okay, I just want to continue as well, but I don't want to scare you. Okay, what is this? What is a function and what is a variables as well? Okay, let's understand about the browser. Okay, in day to day, whatever you use, okay, the browser. Okay, let's understand a bit about the browser. With each application you have made up of lots of the different application. What does it means is, okay, you are seeing as a browser itself as a one application, but internally the browser has a number of applications in the background. Okay, those applications combine together, right, to make it running as one application called a browser, right? Each browser has n number of applications in the background. Okay, so but you don't see them all in one go. Okay, you see them as a one browser, right? But internally they are different components. We can call, okay, might be, okay, whatever you see here, right? Okay, this is one component. Okay, this is not part of this entire browser, but it works together. It works together, right? That is a call of integration, right? Okay, when you click on these three buttons is available on this frame, but if you click on these three dots, okay, you will be having a one more frame here, right? This is a call of integration. Okay, imagine if you press these three dots, but you don't get any frame out, okay, which is an issue for the browser, which okay, that is a integration problem. These are the things in real world, right? Okay, companies expected to see something from you, right? You should be able to find the issues with any software. This is the front end software, so that's the reason we are seeing these ones, right? Okay, when you click on this one, right, you are being expected to see something, a different page, which is this one. So these are all called the verifications anyway. Okay, and okay, it looks like a one program but made of using different programs as okay, based on the previous step. Okay, these are all the different applications. These are all different applications, right? The browser itself is also a different components, right? It has a number of components. This Chrome a tab, okay, you see, file, edit, view, history, all these are different components. All these are different components, and definitely you'll be having a different software based on the different components merged together. Okay, and each browser has three main programs. Okay, you normally see, okay, when you click on, okay, Sainsbury's, let's say, if I go in here, Sainsbury's, okay, I'll be seeing this page, right? Sainsbury's as a page. But when actually Sainsbury's, when this particular website is displaying something, which means, okay, how does it show you, right? Each browser has a different components, right? Let me quickly make a draw of this one, right? Okay, each browser has three components, right? Okay, first one is DOM, and the next one is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Here it will come with the JavaScript. Okay. By combining these three different things, right? Okay, and make them as a one component. Now, these three components help you to see as a web page. Okay, let me quickly show you here, right? What are the three main components, right? You'll be having a DOM parser. What does it mean, DOM parser, right? Dynamic dynamic object model. Yes, dynamic object. Dynamic object model. What does it do is, okay, it takes a HTML code and translate into a structured page we usually see, right? Let me go back into the browser and see what does it mean is, right? Elements. I'll go into the first tab called elements in here, right? You see an entire page in here, right? This is the HTML. As you see, this is a parent component of this page. Okay, and then you will be having a header, and then you will be having a body. This body has a different sections here, as you see. Okay, and each section has a different thing to do, right? Let's say, for example, right, okay, on the front end, you'll be having this header called Sainsbury's, okay, live well for less, and then you'll be having a search option as well. If I click on here, okay, I have an element, okay, I'm going to click on this element, and this is an inspector. You call it as an inspector, and I'll go on here. Okay, as you see, when I do the mouse hover, right, it will show me the path in here, right? This is the component of that groceries. So this HTML help you to design the page, okay, what element or what functionality should show you in what place, things like that. Okay, this provides a structure of your web page, HTML. Okay, and this DOM parser is responsible to execute your HTML code and shows you in a structured format. Okay, and then you will be having a CSS parser. Okay, cascading style sheet. Okay, we call it as a cascading style sheet, CSS parser, and this will take our CSS code and then it will make sure our document layout is rendered correctly. These are all the different styles, right? Okay, whatever you see, this color, right? Okay, the background is light orange and the question mark, this is a color on top of an object. Okay, so these colors will be rendered through a cascading style sheet. Okay, without having a CSS, you can't draw the beautiful colors on top of the HTML code, right? Okay, so that's the reason your browser has a second component called the CSS parser. Okay, which helps your web page to run, okay, to run the code and show you in a graphical user interface. Okay, and then we're going to talk about a rendering engine, or we can call it as a layout engine. This engine will be inside of your browser. It is a combination of CSS and DOM parser. So it takes your CSS and DOM and render HTML and actions does not and does some other things. Okay, what does it mean is this rendering engine, right? It is a combination of the CSS and HTML. It is a combination of your CSS and HTML. It both merges, both engines merges, and it called it as a rendering engine. It takes your CSS and DOM, okay, render the HTML page, okay, which has a structured elements. Okay, this is a parent structure, parent and child structure. So that's being given by the HTML. CSS will provide the colors and other stuff, and this rendering engine will render, okay, entire pages, okay, combining both DOM and CSS parser, right? For each browser, right, you should have to have these three engines as mandatory. Okay, then we'll go into the JavaScript engine, right? JavaScript engine program can go by different names based on the browser, right? On Chrome browser, you have that rendering JavaScript render engine. Okay, you in JavaScript in Chrome browser we call they call it as a V8 engine. Okay, on Safari you have their one engine called Nitro. Let me quickly open up an Safari browser, and if I go in here, behind the scene you don't see the engine on the front, it's a behind the screen, right? Okay, and you'll be having a developer tools. Okay, you should be able to see the structure in here. Okay, inspect element. If I click on the browser properties, okay, you'll see that little menu here, right? Okay, if I go in the last one, which is called inspect element, it will populate this particular tab, right, where you'll be having this network resources, timelines, and the last one, console, right? This Safari has a different engine, they call it as a Nitro, and Firefox has Spider Monkey, their own engines. Okay, but they all comply with the ECMAScript engines, right? ECMAScript guidelines. ECMAScript is nothing but European Commission Manufacturing Association, okay, which we have talked about in this slide. Okay, European Computer Manufacturing Association, right? Okay, ECMAScript. They had to comply all the rules around this engines, right? Okay, and IE has Internet Explorer has a Jikara. They call it as a Jikara. It takes a JavaScript syntax and converts into machine code, so our computer can understand the instructions. So you write JavaScript in a language called in English language, or okay, but you don't write them in ones or zeros, which is a binary one. So this engine is responsible to translate the entire code into a ones and zeros. Now I want you to take the syntax of the language, right? What does it mean? Words, right? Okay. In JavaScript language, okay, this is a syntax. Okay, when you are declaring a variable, you call it as a var. Okay, var is nothing but a namespace. You consider as a namespace, right? What does it do is, okay, it thinks that okay, I need to allocate a memory for a variable called x. Okay, and then the JavaScript engine creates a simple memory location somewhere in the memory. Okay, somewhere in the memory, and they, let's say x here, right? Okay, this is the memory in our local computer. Okay, and they declare the variable as x. Okay, and then we are replacing with the value 10. Okay, if you see var x equal to 10, now the reference becomes here, right? Now x equal to 10, this is a memory, and the memory address will be identified by the variable called x. Okay, so you have the different variables. Okay, you can define a variable. Sorry guys, sorry. And you'll be having a different variable called y, and you can store the value as 20 in here, right? And the next one is, okay, you can write a function, okay, using like this one. Okay, as function as a keyword, and you name the function with the name, and you are passing it two variables. Okay, argument 1 and argument 2. What you are going to do here is, okay, you are returning a value of both variables. Okay, argument plus and argument 2, which means, okay, you have a one mechanism which takes two parameters. Okay, and it returns a one value as a combining or adding both of the parameters. So this is a syntax. Okay, you write them in a kind of like it's not a plain English, but it's a defined. It's defined how you use, right? Okay, so these instructions will be translated into into a different binary code format, which be able to understand by a computer. Okay, and files are being downloaded onto your computer and processed on the client side. What does it mean here is, when you hit any website, okay, you are being downloaded n number of files. Let me quickly show you, right? I'm going to, now I have chosen the network as a selection in my DevTools. Okay, DevTools is nothing but, if you go into the three dots, okay, you have the more tools and you have the developer tools. Okay, where you can see all the network traffic and other stuff. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hit the sainsbury.co.uk here. If I go in here, see how many files it has been downloaded. If you click on here, right? Okay, preview, right?
డెమో వర్షన్ ఉంది, వాడు చెప్తున్నాను వింటున్నాను, ఈ అదోలు పిలిచారని వెళ్ళారు.
Okay, and these are the files are being downloaded in here, right? So all the files will be compiled and shown something on the front end, which is this website, right? And the JavaScript engine, okay, this is going to be either an interpreter or it's going to be a compilation involved in the just-in-time, right? Okay, the second name of the JavaScript engine, you call it as a just-in-time compiler, right? As soon as it receives a command, it executes and it shows you. Okay, it takes human readable instructions and basically it converts into a machine language, and they are actually very, very quick. Okay, they also do some optimizations. when browsers are downloading JavaScript files, okay, they are in human readable format. Okay, anyone can look into it. I can quickly take you to that page, right? Okay, these are all the different files which has been downloaded, right? Okay, let me quickly try to find as you see, tag.js, which is a JavaScript file, right? You see, okay, these are all in same syntaxes formats we have seen in here, right? Okay, function, and the name of the function, there are two parameters, right? And the bracket open, which is an instruction. No problem. And then you have a variable, right? Okay, you can, these are the you can write a function and you can point to a variable as well, right? Okay, these are the things will be covered, okay, in the actual syntax of the basics of the JavaScript, right? So but as you see here, right? Okay, the similar format what we have seen in our syntax, right? Variable, we call it as x, and we define a value. Variable y, and we have declared a value. And then we have a function, okay, and okay, we are naming a function. We have two arguments, and we are returning some value. Okay, if we go back in here, right? Let's see, function and try, catch, return, try and return. Okay, function, variable, we are declaring a function to a variable, right? As you see here, function and variable and return. Function function name, two parameters, and does something, okay, and return something. You get a attribute called content, okay, and you are returning empty. If it doesn't match anything, it is going to return empty. That's how you can understand the code, right? Basically, when you hit any web page, it downloads everything onto your local machine, okay, and it compiles, right, renders all the things and displays to you, right? I can say and try to learn, but it's very hard. You don't know how the internal code is actually working, right? Okay, the JavaScript console, okay, console interfaces are very important, can be used to debug what is happening in the behind the screen, okay, and simple text interface, and allows you to input commands and view output. As we have seen before, if we go in here, right? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to var x equal to 10. Okay, now if I click on x, you always see 10. If I do console.log of x, right, what does it mean is, okay, you are going to display x again, right? But value of, if I write something, value of x is, see, the output is value of x is 10. Okay, in the previous one, console.log of x. Okay, what you are asking for is, okay, can you show me the value of x? Okay, yes, okay, there you go, the value is 10. And we are in the first step, we are declaring a variable called var. Sorry, var is a keyword to declare any variable. Var x is a variable name, and the value of the variable is 10. So it remembers the value of 10, okay, until you close this tab. This is a temporary memory. It's not going to save forever. As soon as you close this tab, it's going to forget about this one. Okay, I can prove that. Okay, if I go in here, if I go to this particular tab, okay, test code, and if I open up here, let me quickly try to find what is the x value here. It doesn't find it. Okay, but if I go in different dev tools, right, I can quickly understand, try to explain you. Dev tools, sainsbury.co.uk. That is a place we have stored variable x, okay? And this is a dev tools tesco.com, okay? It named the page tesco.com. That's it, right? And console is a simple text interface, as I have shown you, okay? And your computer, even though have a graphical interface, and do allow you to open console window and environment, okay, which allow you to take a basic input text and basic output text from the command written, as we have written in the past. Okay, var x equal to 10. So obviously console.log of x, okay, which is this one, console.log of x. Okay, you are passing a command and it's showing a value. That's it. That's how it works, right? And does the JavaScript has a console? The answer is yes. The console allows you to type the JavaScript commands, and those commands will be taken live to the JavaScript engine, which is a just-in-time compiler, run and return the result to the text editor, which we have seen before. This console helps us to debug the errors and also can see the network traffic. Okay, all popular browsers has a developer tools. You can see the developer tools in each browser. Okay, using developer tools, you can modify the DOM and CSS as well. On Windows, if you want to see, okay, you press the F12 button, right? Okay, that's what I want to cover in this particular JavaScript demo session, right? Okay, basically, I just have given out how the program is divided, right? And the team structure in reality. Okay, if you're going to work, and why do we use automation testing? What are the benefits out of it? And okay, as we have agreed, okay, we are going to use the JavaScript as a primary language to automate the stuff. Okay, and how the evaluation, okay, has been done, and the syntax of the JavaScript language. Okay, and where do we use? Okay, browser. So we have talked about the browser. That's all I want to show you and discuss with you guys. Okay, that's all from me. Do you have any questions about the program or about the concepts that I have covered so far?
So you can also, which framework we are going to cover in this session then?
Right. Okay. We're going to cover WebDriver IO, Nightwatch, okay, and Protractor, okay, Cypress. These are the four one, but these two internally use the one protocol, and these two are different protocols. So yeah, these four frameworks we're going to cover.
So we are going to see all four frameworks end to end then.
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's great.
internally we are going to use a Mocha and Chai, right, for these ones. Cypress, we don't need the Mocha. Okay, they have their own test runners and other stuff. Okay, but Mocha and Chai, we can use them in these three frameworks.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So which application are we automating while using these frameworks?
I mean, we can use any of the open, these ones, Tesco or Sainsbury's, okay, the real ones, right? Or, I can deploy a simple web application on the cloud as well, okay? On the cloud, and just for the testing purposes, okay, we can use a testing website or Heroku websites, any other websites.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
So, if everything is fine, when are you going to start the course? Sessions, yeah?
Yeah, actually, I'm expecting at least 3 members in a group, right?
Okay.
So as soon as I get 3 members as a cap limit, right, then I'm happy to start the sessions, right?
Okay.
But it won't be more interactive, right? Okay, if it is less than three people, that's reason. Okay.
Yeah. And what about the timings and when you're gonna?
Yes.
How many hours? And yeah.
Definitely. Actually, I'm planning to do these sessions on the Sundays, right? Okay, as a 4 hours as a one stretch course, right? And on a working day, okay, on a particular day in a week, I can choose and do for 1 hour as interview questions. Okay, main topic. Mainly to cover only the interview questions, right? And if you have any troubles, right, writing the code, or if you have any questions, we can discuss all the stuff on the working day session, which is a 1 hour session. And 5 hours per week. Okay, it's like a 6 weeks from now.
Okay. So after the 6 weeks of course, as beginners, what we can expect, like experience, like we can put it as 2 years or 3 years experience kind of information shall we get?
I can quickly walk through that as well. Okay. Okay. The reason why is, okay, we have a different people from a different backgrounds. Okay. If the people who are like, who doesn't have any experience this particular automation or any testing, right, in real-time experience. Okay, what I
Yeah.
can recommend you is, okay, at least put 2 or 3 years as a manual testing, and then okay, you can show them as the automation, right? Okay, so at least it covers that,
Okay.
having a manual and automation experience. Okay, that's option one. And option two, if you're already working on a manual, which is very good, right, which is a very good opportunity, that what you can do is you can try to learn the things from here, right, and try to apply these practices or some of the examples in your current role, okay, where you can show to your line managers or colleagues and other stuff, right? Or if you already have a framework set up on your company or on your team, right, definitely it gives you an opportunity to clone the repositories and start trying to understand, okay, from the scratch. That's option two. Okay.
Okay.
Option one and option two. Okay, but there is one more option. Okay, don't think me. It's not a discrimination, right?
Yeah.
If you are a gender, right? If you are a female person, right? If you are a woman, right? What I can suggest you is, if you are a fresher again, okay,
Yeah.
you don't have any prior experience with this automation. What you can do is, okay, I can show that, mostly you have had an experience in the background back home, right? Okay, and you took some maternity, okay, and now you're studying, right? That way you can prove, okay, you worked in the past and you are on maternity, and now you are trying to start a new position. So this particular path, right? Okay, it's more like a genuine to the woman side. So
yeah. I agree.
And coming to what I can help you with this interview sections is, right, I can review the CV if you prepare the CV. Okay, I'm happy to the feedback and other stuff. And once the program is in a good state, right, okay, I can take a 1-to-1 interview session, right? You can call it as a demo interview, right? Okay, so I am going to go through what are the questions, right? Okay, that normally I ask that at the interview, or what are the questions being asked in the interview, right?
Okay.
So we can cover all this stuff, okay, in interview session, right? What I'm planning for 1 hour session in a week, so that it will give you a good confidence in the interviews as well. But my suggestion is, right, if you want to be a part of this particular program, right, okay, please try to be more actively asking questions, right, or raising the points, so that other members can learn at the same time, right? Or they might come up with a different plan. That's one suggestion. So it gives you confidence to speak with unknown people as well.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Thank you. And coming to actual charge, I'm going to charge £500, all right, for the 6 weeks program, right?
Okay.
Including the feedback of the interview, as well as the feedback of the CV. I'm happy to review a number of times. It's not a problem for me, right?
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
considering that, mostly I'm going to give you a hands-on experience with the coding, right? If you know the coding, then definitely you'll be able to understand what the problem, right? And you can solve the problems in real time. And these days the interview patterns are also being changed, right? Okay, they are asking some companies, they give you some questions on the paper, they want you to write the actual code, right? In some companies they'll give you a laptop, right, with the setup and other stuff. Okay, they give you some problems within the code base, right? So you have to solve the problems. So these kind of the things, you have to be ready for that position, okay, in order to face a challenge.
Okay. This is what the interview process at the moment, isn't it?
It changes. It changes. Depends on the company to company, right? Company to company. But in reality, okay, they are expecting you to write a code. Okay, in some companies, if you are going for a banking companies, right? All right. I don't know the background of yours, but if you have a real-time experience, yes, you are more than welcome to enter into the banking domain. If you don't have a real-time experience, anything, right, but you want to start a new career in this one, I recommend you to go into the banking. The reason why is there is a lot of background checks as well. right? So anyway, going back to the topic, either they will ask you to write some programs, right? Okay, before appearing an interview. That's a step one, right? I mean, option one. Option two, okay, as soon as the interview for as soon as you finish with the phone interview, okay, they'll call you for a second round, which is a face-to-face interview. They'll ask you to write a code, right? By giving a piece of paper with a set of questions, or by giving a problem, okay, with the setup of entire the code base, right? You should be able to debug the code and try to fix the problems within that time duration. And based on the code practices that you have followed in writing in solving the problem, then they'll raise more questions on top of it.
Okay.
That is interview practices here in the UK at least, and mostly London. Okay, yeah, it will be the same.
Okay, that's good.
Any questions from other guys? And once I finish this, program, sessions on a day-to-day, okay, I'm happy to forward the recorded videos for you guys as well. You can listen and watch. Okay, but you have to do a lot of practice, right? Trust me. Okay, if you practice a lot, definitely you'll be in a good position to answer the questions. Right, it's not a thing to read, as I mentioned before, right? Okay, it's all about practice. If you do a lot of practice, then you'll get a good position here.
Yeah, I'm happy to proceed this course, but I'm not about the other participants. And please speak to them and let me know.
I mean,
yeah,
if you guys text me, okay. I mean, when you guys are made a decision, just let me know, and I'll make a plan out of it, and I'll forward the plan.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And if you don't have any further questions, I just want to wrap up this program.
Okay. I don't have anything further.
Arvind and Bhagat, are you happy, guys?
Yeah, Yugandhar. Thank you. Thanks for your time, man.
No problem, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending the session.
Thank you, Yugandhar.
We'll ping you separately.
Sorry, there is overlap.
This is Arvind. Can you send the slides? Is it okay?
This one, yes, I'm happy to forward you. Would you mind? Can you drop me the email or email address to me, please?
Yeah, I'll drop you WhatsApp. I'll WhatsApp you my email address. Yeah?
Excellent, thank you. No worries. If you can send me the Gmail, right? I'm happy to forward this particular video recording as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bhagat, you were asking something?
Nothing. You can just I will drop my email. So
okay.
Just and thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks for your time, man. Okay. And have a nice evening, right? Rest of your Sunday. Cheers, man. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Bye, guys. See you hopefully.
Bye, guys. See you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.